What's up, gang? We're going to do part 2 of the Tapper Restore. I did get word we are going to do a full art kit on this as well. This video is going to kind of be like a episode of Seinfeld. We're going to have our main plot, and then we're going to have a subplot that may or may not get finished. But I want to start pulling aside some of the stuff that's going to be separate projects. Like these 2 cup holders are going to be a project on its own. The brass kick rail down here is going to be a project of its own, and then we can pull this old control panel that's also going to be a project of its own, and just start pulling the coin door, whatever this thing was, get that off of there. And then the subplot is going to be I want to pull some of the wiring. Well, I'm going to pull all the harness out, but I'm going to I think start with there's just a separate harness that's just for sound, and we don't know if the sound works yet on this PCB, so I want to kind of build that when I'm not off camera or taking a break or whatnot, and see if we can't just know for sure that the sound's going, so that I know that there's no board work to do. But stick around and we're going to get started. We're going to start stripping this thing. It should be fun. So right here, this middle connector right there is going to be the audio. The video is going to be an easier one to do because it's separate. So I'm going to pull both of those out. And we have some of the harness still left down in here. So I'm going to see if I can't find the original connector. Here's the mess. It's pretty bad. I'm going to see if I can't find the original connector that went on there. And if not, I have plenty of those that are that size. I can cut one down either way. But we're going to make one, then try to figure out kind of how it went through the game here. And then see what length we need and all of that. And then we have some of the wiring here, looks like. We have some marquee wiring that's missing that we can fix up. But that'll get us started on that, because I don't want to take the board and stuff out yet until we know. Now that we know the monitor's fixed, that's one. Well, we don't know the monitor's fixed in this one. So I'll have to rebuild the monitor still, and then get it playing with sound, and then I'll rig up this Swiss cheese board, control panel with the controls and stuff, just so we can make sure everything works primitively, and we can fine tune it and stuff later. But that's going to be the subplot. I'm going to try to do those 2 connectors at least, and like I said, find out how they go, and so they're the right length. And we're not going to install any of that yet, but we're going to get an idea where it goes. But yeah, this is that's going to be fun. I'm going to move the power supply, since we're making it from scratch, put everything in a little bit better situation. I think we're going to stick with a switcher, but it looks like we might need to replace this. So it's kind of old, and I'd hate to rebuild a tapper and put in an old used power supply. So I'll try to dig up a new one, or we'll order one. But yeah, that's where we're going to start. So this part you probably won't see on camera much, because like I said, I'm just going to build it, and then I'll show you guys at the end of the video if I'm done by the end. But now let's switch over and start demolishing the front. Sorry, I got the fans going, but I had to show you this real quick. This is the crazy video set they had set up. This is the plug that actually went to the monitor. This one back here goes off and around to a completely different harness that they used for this project. And I guess this was the original, I guess it's another hack. It came off of this original cable, which must not be an original to Tapper. All of that all they had to do was just repin. Oh yeah, this is part of their board they made. This is the original here. This must be sync for the original. It's insane. It's like 6, 8 pins, something like that. Anyway, I just had to show that. It's insane. So we do have a little bit of the original harness. This goes, I guess, to the power supply, and they cut that off. Some of this is audio. This is for the board, and then the rest of this comes over and plugs into the other side of the board over here. And it looks like we have a couple of other connectors as well. I guess these probably plugged into these or something similar. One went off in its own direction, another one had to go to the control panel. There's the power cord, what's left of it. We're not going to use it though. And it looks like our audio wires got cut off here, but still go up. And then our on-off switch, and possibly, let's see if I can get up there without blinding us. The on-off switch and the possibly the marquee are hanging there. I'm still gonna replace the wire. I don't know if the audio wire might be fine. I just need to reconnect it there. It's not really gonna go that far. It's just gonna go from there to there. But at least I kind of know how the wiring went. I guess I have to figure out what the plugs look like for the MCR power supply, and I can kind of eliminate those. But the one thing I do want to say is this isolation transformer, the electricity coming in went to the top, and then the isolated power came out the bottom. And it was working like that with this monitor, which doesn't have an isolation transformer on it. So I have to remember that that's how that works, because usually when I'm working with them, it works the other way around. So it was good that I paid attention and saw that before I fried a monitor, because that would not have been fun. But the bottom of this cabinet, I can probably already start and finish up. Just get the pinouts, find out where everything's going. And then instead of having the connectors go to the MCR power supply, I'll just make a interconnect connector there that goes to this one, and then another one that goes from there to an MCR, so that we have both options if we go to the other power supply. And then I'll just add it to this harness. So this one looks pretty good, minus the these wires here. It looks like they were just straight cut. Oh yeah, I guess I probably cut them off that mess that was right there. I forgot about that. I cut those off. All right. the tag on it does still say, I think this is it. Yeah, it's upside down, but it says Tapper. Let's see if I can get, there we go. Tapper GH. But all right, well, that's the start of that. We got that started and kind of know what we're in for there. Let's look at the front, like I said earlier. Let's go ahead and take this cup holder off here. See, we have the harness down here. Like I said, there was that small chunk that I can use, and then I took the rest of it out. I was gonna leave it in there to test the sound and stuff, but it's just so junky, I don't want to risk it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this cup holder. So there's screws that hold it in. There's two on the front side of this bracket and two on the back side of this bracket. I went ahead and took the two off the back side because they are kind of a pain and it's hard to see. I'm sure it'd probably be much easier if you weren't filming, but since we are, I went ahead and took them off so nobody has to censor me. And they might have to on this one. There we go. It's just in a dark spot for what I'm doing. This one. Excuse me. I had to rig up my screwdriver because for whatever reason it's not magnetic, which is kind of idiotic, I think. All right, let me make sure I don't lose these screws here. All right, take a look at this thing. Oop, good thing we're changing the art. All right. So you can see where this is taking in some serious rust. So lots of drinks have been spilled on it. And we can take that off too. Back out just a little bit. There we go. And we looked at powder coating these, and then we looked at painting, and it's like $250 difference. So if we screw up the paint job, we can still powder coat them and we're not out a whole lot. But other people that painted them, it looked good. I saw it, most people were using just brass spray paint and then covering it up with some clear coat. It didn't look as good as this finish, I don't think, but it does look fine. And they're probably going to get tore up no matter what. And then powder coating, you're probably safe, but as you can see, the damage on these things are crazy. Some of it, like the other one I was looking at real close, was definitely from moving the game. Somebody moved it, and it was sitting right on these cup holders and just scratched all the paint right off. But like, how does some of this other stuff happen? I get up here, constant drinks and stuff. Need to make a rubber insert or cork insert or something. I know somebody does. I just might have to make one myself. Oh, look how nasty this thing is. Oh, can't get it off because of those. Duh. For some reason I was thinking it was just mounted to that bracket and that was it. Alright. My hand's tired, so every screw feels like it's 8 foot long. Come on. Something even on there? Okay. I get like no resistance, but I can't unscrew it with my hand. I'm not too worried about the sound not working. I think even if it doesn't, I'll be able to figure it out. Just kind of wanted to check it off the list, but once I started looking at the harness, it's like, ugh, that is rough. Rough and tumble. Oh yeah, that's grody. So I'm just gonna zip that off there. You can see what the finish looked like though. Let me hit it in the light real good. It is gold, brass. Looks kind of silver in the light. So I'm gonna get my orbital sander out and try to zip that off there a little faster. And let me get rid of this hinge here. I did go ahead and do the other side. So we had a comparison. Come on. All right, here we go. So got one sanded down. It's just the rough sand. I'm gonna sand it a little bit finer so there's no grooves and stuff in there, but that's what we'll have them both look like. And then once I get them smoothed down, there's a lot of like pitting and stuff in here. I haven't decided if I'm gonna fill that in with Bondo. I think I might. It'll probably just chip off anyway in that part, but it will look better for paint. Yeah, we'll primer it up and then it should be ready for paint. Curious to see how much paint that's going to take. And now let's show you guys. I pulled off the kick rail. That is pretty gross. It looks like it's been kicked around quite a bit. And here's one end cap. See, there's a lot of green tarnish and stuff in the inside. Now let me check the time here. What I did with the other one was I have it soaking in Coca-Cola. It's been in there for about 2.5 hours. Let me get a towel. I'm gonna drip it all over the game. But I'm pulling it right out of the soda. Tripod fell over. We don't need any soda dripping on us. So here's what we got going so far. It's already starting to look a lot better, I think. So my hands are probably gonna leave dirt on it. Just curious to see how it looks after a couple hours. I think it needs to stay in there all night long, but yeah, it's actually a lot nicer. Sorry, I haven't got it on camera yet. I want to polish it and make it look good first. Let the suspense build. Yeah, it's looking better. Let's see if we can get a little closer for a comparison here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That's after 2 hours in Coca-Cola. So I figure probably 6-8 hours in it will probably do it good. Might have to go get a 2-liter for that kick bar, but that's going to work out pretty well. I got some brass polish too that I'm going to polish it up with before we throw it back on the game. But that is pretty sharp. So that's what we're going to do with those. And it's going to be time to start pulling off the rest of the stuff, the coin door and that, and then probably just sand the art off, I guess, what's here and what's left. There is a spot, I don't know if I can get low enough, where I took the rail off, and you can kind of see what the old art looks like. This spot here with all the brown, all this green, not all of it, but a lot of it was brown like that. So where we were thinking about having to replace this front kick panel because of this, it would have definitely stood out if all of it was this brown with the rest of the art looking like that. So that's the whole reason why we're actually going with new art. But it does, the existing art does look pretty good. It's one of those things where it's this is right in the front, and all of his other games are going to be choice. So, and it's Tapper, so I'm gonna do the whole haul. Might as well really do it. And you can see we got these little bolts that are down here. I'm gonna take those out. I think those are supposed to be brass. They're just really rusty looking, so we'll dunk them in some Coke for a while too. That seems to work pretty well. And that, I'm just shocked at how well that worked actually. That looks really good. I have to figure out a way to put that in a thumbnail. All right, I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. I got to take a break. I'm gonna run the 4600 monitor back over there, or chassis, and then we'll be back and work on this some more. Stick around. Getting ahead of myself without filming again. So I started removing some of this T-molding. I'm gonna take this stuff off. I've got that off. Let's take a look. We have, these are both of our kick rail ends after soaking in Coke for 12 hours, 14 hours, something like that. They're much better, but I still think I'm gonna give them another soak and then still gonna polish them after that. But definitely the way to go. That was a much easier dunk in a bath. And then I was able to get the side art off in one piece on that side. So I made a poster out of it. And then this is a laminate, so this is nice and smooth. mostly. There are some edges that we can hit with the Bondo, and there's a little spot knocked off back here. But it's pretty smooth, and it'd be pretty easy to apply art to. But we'll still go over and Bondo these spots and sand that out. But I wanted to hop on here with some kind of video and touch base because this thing's gonna look a whole lot different here in a few minutes, and I didn't get anything on video of it yet. I have both of the cup holders are sanded, and the control panel that was there set aside. But yeah, I'm gonna take all this off, monitor off. Right now I'm gonna try to get this other side, and hopefully I can get it in one piece like this again, and then maybe I'll put it on the door or something if I ever put it back on its hinges. Some bathroom doors somewhere sometime. I don't know. I figured it'd be fun to keep though. All right, I'm gonna keep going. All right, she's almost naked. Got to take off this front kick panel piece, and of course we have this hole that's not supposed to be there. I'm gonna have to put a piece of wood in here and then Bondo over that, and hopefully I can sand it nice and smooth. But you can see the color of the brown in the side art has how much it's faded by looking at the coin door and this little patch that's up there. So that must have been put on there pretty early. I haven't seen any other ones in any pictures of them, so I don't think it's original. But that art sure was brown when it was put on. Now here's this side here. This side was much tougher than the other side. The glue held much better. And this side, as you can see, I was able to pull off the side art in one sheet, and it's pretty smooth. It's definitely some laminate, I think, but we're gonna have to sand it down a little bit because there's glue on it, and we're gonna have to put some Bondo along these edges here. They're not too bad, nothing real bad. Big scratch there, I have to fill in. So it'll be a little sanding, but we'll just sand it really smooth so we won't give our side art any problems. But I'm gonna finish taking this piece off here, and then I need to take all this other stuff out because I think the side art will be here today, and so I'll probably put it in tomorrow. But it's starting to shape up here. We got some more bolts here. They either look rusted or they are, I don't think they're bronze like those other ones. No, they're just black and rusty. So that'll be easy. We just sand that down and repaint those. And this kick plate that's actually on the kick plate, that thing is on there, so it must be nailed in. I'm gonna use the camera to look. Can't see, I'll look later. It could be just staples or something, but it didn't, oops, sorry. It didn't come off as easily as I thought. Got the control panel art, and now that's the control panel. Pull out that switcher, this monitor, whatever kind of goodies we got down there. I see a lot of vacuuming that needs to be done. I have to do a lot of cleaning. I want to make sure this black is black again. And I think we're going to paint this white underneath here to make the side art pop. And we take this out and replace the incandescent bulb, going with an LED. But yeah, I think that's about it on the front. Now the back, it needs a little bit more work. I think the back door is going to need to be replaced. Oh, it's so nice to have furniture sliders. It's not horrible, I guess. Nobody's ever going to see it. I'll see what he wants to do. It'll be easy to just paint it. And then we got this. This is probably the worst part in the game. It's just that little notch there is still kind of flaking off. A little bit of water damage on the top there. Nothing we can't handle. But it's going pretty fast. Need to lift the game up and get it off the this old T-molding I've got almost pulled out. A couple more holes here. Yeah, nothing serious. This monitor looks really good. I don't see much burn in it. There may be just a tiny bit. Could just be dirt too. It's definitely dirty. Gotta clean that too. I still have to do the monitor work. It at least needs a cap kit. So plenty to do, but I thought it was kind of funny that the whole piece of side art came off. It was at a position where I could have just tore it off, and I was like, well, let's see if I can get it off. And I figure we're gonna do something funny with it. I don't know what we're gonna do. I was thinking maybe putting it on that door, but I don't ever use that door. Just sits in the way. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to this. I'm gonna pull the front off for sure, and then I don't know, that might be it for this video. We got a lot of videos to make, but I'm gonna split this up, and the next one we'll prep these sides and get it ready for the art, and probably put the art on. We'll leave that all for one video. That'll make good for that. I guess I could clean it out, but that doesn't have to be on video either. I could just show you at the end. But it's coming along pretty well. Nice and fast. It could be faster, but I have to film all this other stuff too. So these two right here are going to be ground and 5 volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is, a nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted, I got what I wanted, and a pretty good deal on it too. Super hang on.
Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.